entire thing.
Tom Burlinson, the star of Man from Snowy, and Philip has hopped out of his saddle and into a spaceship for his latest role in the movie The Time Guardians, Australia's first space fiction film, I guess. Would you please welcome Tom Burlinson, who's shaping up as Australia's answer to Harrison Ford. Tom Burlinson. Welcome, Tom.
Thanks
for your time. Nice to see you again.
Thanks.
Is it fair to say, I guess Mad Max is the one we compare it with? Is it? Would this be our first science fiction movie?
Science fiction special effects movie. The Mad Max films were certainly science fiction, but this one's got more of the effects that we identify with the Star Wars trilogy or Aliens, that sort of film.
Yes, they gave me a videotape of it last night, and I sat down with my daughter just in the lounge room watching it, and the razzle-dazzle was pretty exciting. So it's not aimed at children only, is it?
No, I think science fiction buffs will be interested in it, right, because it's the first type of film like that made in Australia, and all the effects were done by a company called Mirage Effects. And there's all sorts of stuff you can see on the screen now, laser animation. They are the aliens who pursue my character through time,
right,
called the Jendiki. And model work and blue screen work and effects that we've learnt from American companies, but that is being done for the first time in Australia in The Time Guardian.
Well, Mirage were also the company that did Mad Max, and what else they did?
And lots of commercial work. But,
yes, I was thinking, well, they had, what was the other one, about the mad pig?
Razorback.
Razorback. They did all those. So, but in that sense, is it one step beyond what we've done in the past?
Yes, I think so. The cinematography has elements of, you know, did you see Aliens, the film?
Yes,
Aliens, with
yes,
that sort of strobe lighting and sort of dark imagery in the time-traveling city? Because it all revolves around a time-traveling city that we come into it, they're in a battle with the alien creatures, the Jendiki.
Set in the year 2400, isn't it?
Yeah, they're traveling in time,
right,
and so they have a battle, and the city is damaged.
Because of you?
Yes, that's right, because of something that I do in order to get away from them. And then Ballard is sent with a character named Petra to the 20th century in order to build up this rock mound so that the city can land safely. And
Petra is Carrie Fisher?
Petra's played by Carrie Fisher.
Okay. Now, how did you get Carrie? I would have thought after the success of Star Wars and so on that she would have been almost unapproachable for an Aussie science fiction movie.
Well, another actress was cast in the role, and she had to pull out because of illness very late in the piece. So we were already filming in Adelaide, and we didn't know who was going to play Petra, and they did this frantic sort of casting exercise both in Australia and in the States. And to our great surprise and pleasure, Carrie accepted the role. It's a support role, but a very important one, and I think she wanted to come to Australia and see what was happening out here. And it's a nice part for her, I think.
Yes, we've got a clip here where she comes back, Carrie comes back as your other character, comes back to Australia in the 20th century.
If you want me to help you, you're going to have to tell me what's going on. And you can start with that bangle.
What?
The armband thing. When I pressed the button, it put her to sleep.
It does a lot more than that.
Tell her, Ballard. Tell her, we're gonna need her.
Okay. I need to get hold of an earth transposer.
A what?
What he means an earth mover. He doesn't know much about this century, does he?
An earth mover. Well, there might be one in Midas.
Can you take me there? Please?
I should have mentioned Nikki. In fact, it came up first, not on...
Nikki Coghill plays the female lead in the film. Petra and Ballard come back to the 20th century, and Ballard meets Annie, who is a geologist on a survey, saves her from the clutches of one of the Jendiki, and enlists her help to get the earth mover in order to let the city land.
Yes, Carrie, I guess the most publicised things in recent time has been her drug addiction problem, and you obviously had to work with her for a couple of months. Is she clear of that? Is that all?
Yeah, she spent some time in a clinic in Los Angeles, and no, she's fine now. and really nice and natural in the movie, and she's funny.
The location where you mentioned South Australia, it was all done in South Australia?
Yeah, in studios in Adelaide, or the interior stuff, then in a quarry in Adelaide for all the night shooting, and then a little bit in the Flinders Ranges, and they built Midas, the town that they referred to in the clip, an outback town with some very paranoid policemen in it, from the ground, and I think that's very convincing.
Yes, the special effects of it, one can't describe them, they're just quite sensational, aren't they? Now, I read as well that you'd had to get yourself into shape, that you've been working out in the gym. You look fairly fit anyway.
Well, Ballard being a soldier of the city and a sort of tough, no-nonsense guy, and plus the fact that I had to wear some pretty tight-fitting costumes, I thought that in order to, and there are some fight scenes in the film, and to be convincing as a tough guy, I thought that the thing to do would be to go to the gym and just get a bit of definition, and also you need to be pretty fit to last making a feature film over about 3 months, you know, doing that sort of action movie.
We've got another scene from the film where you're, I'm just trying to see, where you've been followed to earth by the Sindiki, by the enemy. So we have a look at this.
There's going to be a battle out there soon. Maybe here too. And it could alter history. That's the future, as well as the past. Listen, it's what happens now that shapes history, what we do.
McCarthy.
Sarge, it's me, Wayne. I'm at the yard. Help me. There's somebody...
Knock it over.
I must say, sitting and watching it last night was like walking into one of those fun parlours, a pinball parlour, of all the sound effects that went on with that. Yeah. You mentioned the body gear that you had to wear, the close-fitting one. Mm-hmm. Carrie Fisher also wears...
yeah, as I say, Carrie...
tight breastplate, doesn't she?
That's right. Carrie was cast late in the piece, so she arrived in Australia, and one of the costumes was a body-fitting, time-travelling outfit. And the way they made it was they used this plaster material that I think dentists use to make casts in teeth, but they had to put it all over the front of our bodies, and then that sets, and then they take it off and they use that as the mould for the actual costume. Which
so it was on the skin?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
So they'd done it with me, and that was okay, because the guy who was given the job was a very quiet, shy young man who thought Carrie Fisher was terrific. She just arrived in town, and this was one of the first things she had to do. So she's standing there. They used the body stocking on her, but nevertheless, this guy had to apply all of this stuff all over the front. So he didn't know where to look. And so finally it was done, and Carrie was there, and it turned out that there was something wrong with that particular batch of the plaster, and it wouldn't set.
It wasn't deliberate, Tom.
No, well, I don't know, but she moved a little bit, and the whole thing ended up in a sludgy mess on the floor, and he had to start all over again, doubly embarrassed.
And where did he look?
Carrie always referred to it afterwards as the breastplate. So.
Well, it certainly looks very effective. Is it true that you're shifting off that one because you've just finished doing Man from Snowy 2? Mm-hmm. Is it true that you're allergic to horses? Is that right?
No, that was a bit of rubbish that some reporter made up. And, I mean, anybody who's familiar with my work in the Man from Snowy River or Phar Lap or, you know, other work that I've done would know that that's patent nonsense. And